Sometimes it's rather engaging and attractive when vegetables that one thought had completely died spring up the following year, and you think, oh, I've got an entirely new crop of something. But lettuce is unusual. The political afterlife of Liz Truss is astonishing. It seems undiminished. Not since Lazarus has a resurrection provoked quite so much disbelief, except in this case, no one is talking about miracles, merely a sense of proportion or perhaps a lack of self-awareness. Liz Truss, whose premiership was shorter than the shelf life of bagged salad, seems impossible to deter. Mockery, prudence, even logic bounce off her like pebbles on reinforced plastic. She's back, not with policy or purpose, but with more noise and notoriety. And this last weekend, Truss graced the stage of the Conservative Political Action Conference in Budapest, in Hungary. Not known, one might add, for its commitment to democratic norms or free press, and at a time when Viktor Orban's grip on power is diminished. Here, the former Prime Minister waded into what she described as a global war for free speech. She stood behind paragons of liberty like Viktor Orban, like Wilders, like Alice Weidel of the far-right AFD, a rogues gallery that would give any liberal a nosebleed. Truss declared with a straight face that Britain is no longer a beacon of free speech and that political refugees now flee to Hungary, of all places, to speak freely. This is the Hungary where critical media outlets have been shut down, journalists prosecuted, and dissent strangled by state propaganda. One could scarcely script a more perfect irony. Irony has never, of course, troubled Liz Truss. She's the politician who tanked the economy with a fantasy budget, then wrote a book about being right all along. Now she uses her platform not to reflect, but to campaign for the reputational rehabilitation of Lucy Connolly, the convicted agitator who incited racial hatred by calling for migrant hotels to be set alight. Truss framed Connolly as a victim of Soviet-esque political persecution. The grotesque absurdity of that comparison should stop us in our tracks. This isn't a political martyrdom, it's reckless, inflammatory opportunism. And yes, I agree, Lucy Connolly shouldn't be in prison, but she should be released because of the mercy shown to Mike Amesbury, not because of an issue of freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is about freedom to do the right thing, not to encourage people to attack others. And just when you thought the week couldn't get any more surreal, footage emerged of Truss raising a glass of whiskey to a man named Doogie Joyce, a bare-knuckle fighter jailed for assaulting a 78-year-old pensioner. Truss, with startling cheer, declared Liz Truss loves you while promoting her new liquor. The video has the same energy as someone trying to relaunch the Titanic, but with fireworks and a sponsorship deal. And she says, well, I didn't take any money for it. Well, if you're not asking for pay, Liz, come and talk to me on this channel. I'd be delighted to have you here. But I won't pull punches when I'm asking questions. I'm using the term pulling punches in its most metaphorical sense. But I would want to know, are you aware of the damage that you caused? Not so much on in your budgets when you were Prime Minister, but the damage that you caused when you sat in front of Sergei Lavrov. So what's going on? Why does Liz Truss keep reappearing on stages like some sort of stage genie gone wrong, up and down on the trapdoor of inevitability? She is manifestly unqualified to occupy any real stage. We asked her to leave the stage of number 10, and yet up she pops again and again. There are three possibilities. First, she genuinely believes that she is a thoughtful leader designed for the new world order. Second, she's addicted to relevance. no matter how shameful. And third, and this is the most plausible, she is being used by a useful idiot, by the international populist right. She's got a British accent, a familiar name, a punchline turned puppet. Her recent performance in Budapest was not just embarrassing for her, it was humiliating for us, for Britain. She stood on foreign soil and peddled lies about our judiciary, our values, our society, not to defend liberty, but to align herself with authoritarian reactionaries who despise it. She might as well have gone the whole hog and had dinner with Sergei Lavrov while she was in the area. In some ways, one must admire her sheer audacity, like a political cockroach. The cockroaches have 13 hearts. Truss survives every nuclear blast of ridicule. She appears immune to consequence, deaf to shame, and allergic to introspection, and still she goes on. But let's not be distracted by this madness. This is not eccentricity. It's danger cloaked in farce when a former British Prime Minister defends hate speech, aligns with autocrats, and actively undermines our institutions. We are no longer in the realm of satire. Liz Truss is not harmless. She is a warning of what happens when political accountability collapses and ego takes the place of service. The lettuce may not have wilted, but democracy certainly might. If we keep letting these vegetable cabaret acts perform unchecked on the world stage, we must look to our democracy and we must ask whether or not it is solid enough and safe enough and can survive this constant barrage, this constant assault. The problem with Liz Truss is not that she is easy to dismiss. She is. But lots of people assembled in those halls to listen to her. How is that possible? Do they not know? Is it that they want to stand and gawp? The problem is, there is always an audience. There is always an audience.